Hello everyone, this is Maria from Physio. I prepared for you today a prenatal yoga class that is suitable for all trimesters. For the class, if you have a yoga block or something that you can use as a block, like a couple of books or a couple of cushions, that might help you for the class. You might not need it, but if you have it, maybe have it to hand, or as I say, something similar as an option. We're going to start in child's pose for the class. So come towards the back of your mat, open your knees a little bit wider than your hips, bring your feet to touch, and make your way onto child's pose. So dropping your hips towards your feet, extend the arms forward, relax your forehead to the ground, close your eyes, and let's start bringing our attention to the breath. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, and then take a deep breath out through your mouth. Trying to let go tension, releasing the body. Close your lips and continue inhaling through the nose. Maybe doing a brief pause at the top and then breathing out gently through the nose as well. Try to think of belly breathing if you can, so expanding the belly as you inhale. And feeling your belly drawing in gently as you exhale. We're going to try to slow down the breath, but we continue breathing here. Begin to feel your hips perhaps opening a bit further, your lower back relaxing, your arms lengthening as well. And let's just try to bring our mind as well to the practice. So try to set an intention for the class, whether it's just a bit of time for yourself, a bit of time to stretch, a bit of time to disconnect from whatever is going on in your day, in your life at the moment. So whatever it is that you're trying to get out of the class, just try to set your mind for it. Let's just take another 3 deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Let's repeat it again. If you can, as you exhale, try to bring a bit of tension through pelvic floor, tummy, so activating your Mula Bandha, your root lock, and your abdominal lock as well, your Udijani Bandha. Okay, let's inhale and begin to come up onto 4-point kneeling. Maybe square your hips a little bit. You're welcome to place a cushion underneath your knees if you need a bit of padding, and you can keep your hands flat, or you can come onto your knuckles if your wrists feel a little bit uncomfortable at the moment. We're going to go into cat and cow, and we're going to try to do breath to movement. So let's start inhaling, lengthening the spine for cow, look forward, exhale, round for cat. And let's repeat it again. Inhale for cow, shoulders relax, exhale for cat. And again, inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Let's do 2 more rounds. Try to get the most out of the stretch, especially during the cat, because your back will naturally tend to arch more and more as your baby bump gets bigger. So you're going to get more stretching. You probably feel your lower back releases more during the cat, during the round position. And let's do it one more time. Breathe out, cat. Now, breathe in, come back to sit up neutral. Take your hands a little bit closer to the middle. Now inhale, take your right arm up towards the sky. Look towards your hand, towards your fingers. Exhale, thread the needle. To the left, palm facing up. Rest your right ear if you can on the mat. Look towards where your hand is, keep the hips up. Try to feel the stretch at the back of the right shoulder. Let's take another 2 deep breaths here. So it's a nice release for your upper mid-back, for the shoulder as well. You might feel a little bit your neck releasing too. Let's come from here back onto the arm opening as you inhale, unwind. Exhale. Take your hand back down. Let's go for the other side. Inhale. Take your left arm up. Look towards your fingers. Exhale. Thread the needle. to the right this time. So stretching the back of your left shoulder, palm facing up. Take your left ear to the mat if you can, and again keep focusing on the breath. Feel the difference on the stretch. Which side feels tighter, which side feels looser. Just trying again to notice the sensation on the ribs, on the mid upper back, the neck, the shoulder blade. And let's go again. Inhale, back to the arm opening, unwind, and then exhale. Return your hand back down. Let's open the hands back to where we were before. Let's go into a spinal balance to add a little bit of activation through your core. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lengthen your right arm and your left leg behind you. Try to keep your toes pointed, fingertips stretching to the front. Hold for another 2 breaths. Think again of your belly breathing. Drawing in a little bit of tension through pelvic floor and core, so activating again pelvic floor and abdominals, your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, or your root lock and abdominal lock. Okay, from here, inhale, return your right hand down, and then tuck the left toes and then plant them onto the mat. I'm just slightly off, right at the edge. And then from here, breathe in and out, and then use your body weight to help you stretch a bit your calf, the back of your leg on the left side. Should be feeling nice. Hold it again for another full breath. And let's just bring the body weight back to the hands. Inhale, take your left leg up, and I exhale, bring it out to the side to an angle. I'm not sure if you can see my foot very well, but my foot is resting on the ground. Tuck the toes of the right foot now, and then exhale, make your way down as if you were going toward child's pose again, but to the point where you feel the stretch on your inner thigh. So maybe you'll be a little bit higher than me, maybe you'll be a little bit lower. Wherever it is that feels good for you, just try to find the better stretch for your body. Focus again on your breath. Try to calm again your mind, especially if you feel stiff. And then let's inhale. Let's return back to 4-point kneeling, and let's take the same posture, same poses on the other side. So let's breathe out and lengthen now your left arm and your right leg. Point the toes of your left foot, lengthen the fingertips of your right hand. Hold it here for another 2 breaths. Again, thinking of your abdominals, your pelvic floor. Again, focusing on belly breathing. Notice the difference on your balance as well. One side always feels a bit easier or a bit stronger. And then let's inhale. Let's take the left hand down, tuck the toes now of the right foot at the end of the mat, and then exhale. Use your body weight again to kind of push back into the heel, so you feel the stretch hopefully on your right calf, right Achilles, maybe even on the sole of your foot, your plantar fascia. And let's hold it again for a little bit longer before we go into our inner thigh release. Okay, very good. So from here, we're gonna inhale, we're gonna release the stretch, take the left foot out to the side to an angle. And then from here, I'm gonna move a bit to the side, so I've got a bit more space, sorry. Tuck the toes of your left foot and then make your way down as if you're going back to child's pose, to the point where you can hopefully feel the right inner thigh. Will probably feel again different compared to the other side, but we'll try to hold it. This side is a bit stiffer for me. Let's inhale again, come back to 4-point kneeling. And then from here, take your hands a bit further forward, bring them a little bit wider than the mat. Keep the hips up, and let's go into heart melting pose or Anahtasana. So dropping your heart, your breastbone to the mat, press your forehead into it. Keep the palms pressing down on the floor, feel the opening on the chest. The release again on your upper back, feels really good. And then keep breathing here. As before, belly breathing. Again, trying to calm your breath, calm your mind. And then let's come from here back to child's pose. So if you need to, you're welcome to open the knees again a bit wider. And then let's make our way down to where we started, Balasana. Or child's pose. So head down, arms lengthen. Just feel the difference on child's pose after we've done a little bit more mobility and a stretch. So we feel hopefully a bit easier than when we started. And then from here, let's come back to forward kneeling, and we're going to try to do downward dog. So for downward dog, again, depending on how big you are at the moment with your baby bump, you're welcome to keep the legs a little bit wider than hip width. Tuck all 10 toes. Keep the hands firm on the ground. Again, if you get stiff on the wrists, you're welcome to come onto your knuckles. And we're going to try to inhale and exhale to lift the knees up. And then extend the back of the legs while you can. Relax your head. So first of all, maybe just release your head a bit, move side to side, and then begin to walk the dog. So pedal the feet, find a bit of movement. Trying to feel the stretch at the back of your legs, back of the thighs. Keep the hips reaching up. So even though the heels are dropping down, your hips are lifting up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And your chest is dropping down along with your head. Now stop the walking and maybe just move your feet a bit side to side, to the right, to the left, just swinging a bit the hips so you can find your movement. And then when you're ready, come back to the dog. Just try to stay here for another 3 breaths. And of course, if you need to come off the dog at any stage, you're welcome to come down back to child's pose. Just take a break when you need it. Listen always to your body. I always say that, because it might be also that different days we feel differently, depending on how energetic you are, whether you slept better, whether again you are more or less stressed. There's so many factors that can influence the way you feel, but that means that again we're not the same every day. So you need to listen to your body and do what feels best. Let's take another full breath here, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And then let's just look towards your hands, towards our hands, and then slowly begin to walk forward. Take as many steps as you need to until you bring your your feet close to your hands. Keep the legs sort of to the same width where you were, according again to your baby bump. Bend your knees a little bit deeper, and now fold one hand over each elbow. So each hand over each elbow. Drop your hip, and then begin to dangle. So we're on ragdoll pose. So picture your body literally like a ragdoll. Just trying to get a bit of release, again, through the upper part of the body. Your legs might be getting a bit of a stretch, but I don't want you to feel them too much. So if you need to bend the knees a bit more, that's fine. And now let's stop the sway. Release your hands, so they might be on the ground if you've got good flexibility. They might be on your shin, on your legs, whatever they are. Just keep the hands where they feel comfortable. Look down towards your navel if you can, or towards your baby bump. Breathe in. And as you breathe, I begin to extend the knees a little bit deeper. So you feel hopefully the stretch a bit stronger on the back of the body. Let's inhale, release. Exhale, stretch the legs. So we're on a standing forward fold pose or Uttanasana. Nice stretch, strong stretch for your hamstrings, for your calves. Let's repeat it 2 more times. So inhale, bending, exhaling, extending the legs. Keep your head nice and heavy. 1 more. And now keeping your legs out straight as you're able to, let's come to a flat back or monkey pose. So lengthen your spine until you come to a flat back position. So again, if you've got a good flexibility, you might be able to keep your fingertips on the ground. Maybe your hands will be on the shins, maybe they'll be on the knees or the thighs. If you've got a block, you can always use the block as well, if you like. I like coming to my shins, so just choose what works for you. And then try to look forward, as if you were looking towards your third eye, towards your forehead. We're gonna exhale, come back to your standing forward fold. And now inhale, and then slowly, let's roll the length of the spine, vertebra by vertebra, till you come up to standing. Good. From here, we're gonna inhale. As we exhale, we're gonna roll down again. And once we're done back to Uttanasana, we're gonna repeat again your monkey. So lengthen the spine. Exhale, back to Uttanasana. Maybe bend your knees and bring your hands back to the mat, and then slowly step back to downward facing dog. And then hopefully the dog should be feeling a little bit easier now. So find again your dog. Hips high, heels low, arms are strong on the ground, head release. Let's stay for 2 breaths. Nice and slow, so try to, you can keep working on slowing down your breathing. And then from here, let's inhale, let's return slowly the knees down to the mat. And we're gonna take the right foot forward. So you can help yourself, take your time, no rush. Again, depending on how big you are at the moment with your baby bump, you might need to keep your front foot, your right foot a bit wider. If you're comfortable hip width, great. But as I say, if you feel that you need a bit more room for your pelvis, for your tummy, just adjust it. So we're gonna come onto crescent moon pose or Anjaneyasana. So from here, a bit wobbly today, we're gonna lean forward until you feel the opening a little bit stronger into your left hip flexor area. Try to keep a good balance on the front foot. And if you can, bring your hands to your heart center onto praying position or namaste. And then let's take a few breaths here. Again, calm in our breath. Just keep looking forward, straight ahead of you. If you feel you can maybe go a bit deeper into it, you're welcome to lean more. But if you find the stretch is already strong enough for you, then stay where you are. Lovely. From here, let's inhale again. And if you can, take the hands a bit lower. Now, options here again. If you have a block, you could use a block for your left hand. You can put it a bit higher, a bit lower. Again, a couple of books otherwise. If you don't have anything, maybe come onto your fingertips, knuckles or fingertips. And if you've got good flexibility, you could keep the palm of your left hand on the ground. And now I'll give you an option again for the hips. So if you find you can lean as deep, partly because you're stiff or partly because of the baby bump, then keep your hips back a little bit. Yeah? So if you got the mobility, come forward. If you need to keep it back, then stay back. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the right arm up like we did on the warm up, on the arm opening and stretch, fingertips reach into the sky, look towards your fingers to the right hand, breathe in, breathe out. And then now let's return. Let's do the other side. So if you were using the block, you could bring it on the right side and then repeat the same movement. It's gonna feel different. So again, you can adjust the hips if you need to. Let's reach the left arm up, look again towards your fingers. Breathe in, breathe out. And then from here, inhale, return. And as we exhale, let's come to half a split pose. So we're gonna extend the front knee, flex the all right 5 toes towards you. Now again, options here. You can stay like this and maybe just try to fall forward. Again, with your leg as wide as you need it, so it's comfortable for your baby bump. If you know your left knee is healthy and feels comfortable, you can try to make your way into sitting on the left heel. Otherwise, you can stay up. And if you're here, then you want to reach towards the foot. Maybe you won't reach all the way down. Maybe you only reach for the calf. That's fine. Just go to where your body allows you. If you're able to reach for the foot, then you grab the inside and the outside of the foot. Try to flex it towards you. If you're not reaching for the foot, keep the foot flexed and then try to fall forward. So if you're down here, great. If you need to be upright like I showed you before, then you stay upright. And so this again, the deeper version of the pose. But as I said, if you're here, just try to keep folding forward. So you'll definitely be feeling the stretch at the back of your thigh, back of your leg, which is what we want. Right hamstring, right calf releasing. Okay, from wherever you are. So if you're down like me, come back up. If you're here, let's just come back to crescent moon. Hands back to your heart center. Just feel the difference on the hip. Maybe it feels a bit more open already. And then carefully bring your hands back to the ground. Bring your right leg back, whatever way is easier for you. Tuck all 10 toes and let's come back as you exhale to downward facing dog. You can walk a little bit if you need to, and then try to find again a nice static dog. Let's breathe another 2 times here. Then let's inhale again, return your knees down. And as you exhale, bring your left foot forward, again, whichever way is easier for you. Take your time to get there. Again, you might need to bring your foot a bit wider, depending on how big you are at the moment. If you're able to stay hip width, great, but again, as you get bigger, you're going to need to adjust your position, so just adjust it as it feels better for you. And we're going to try to tuck the tailbone under a little bit, begin to lean forward so we come onto crescent moon. But we're going to do it with hands on our heart center. Think of, again, calming your mind, calming your breath, working a bit through your balance on your left foot and ankle as you open up the right hip flexors. And you'll notice the difference on both sides. I'm definitely tighter on my right. So the other side felt quite easy, this side feels quite challenging. So for you might be the same, might be the opposite. It's always good to know where we need more stretch, more control. So being aware of the difference on your body, which again might change side to side, day to day. So each side is not going to feel the same each time. But in general, we have a stiffer side of the body. So it's just good for you to bring the awareness if you don't have that knowledge of your body. Yeah, just begin to think more what your body needs on each side and for each stretch, of course. Okay, let's make our way into a bit more forward if you're able to. Again, option here to use again a block if you want for your right hand or a couple of books, otherwise fingertips or knuckles on the ground, unless you can raise your hand completely flat. Again, if your hips are not able to come this forward and you need to be here, that's fine too. And then we'll do the twist on the arm. Yeah, so if you're able to come forward, try to come forward. And then breathe in, take the left arm up first, look towards your fingers. So we hold it again, inhale and exhale. Now come down, release the arm. You could bring the block to the left hand now, unless again, you're able to, again, use your hand and then reach your right arm up. Feels different when we do both rotations. Again, if you need to be back, that's fine. Look towards your fingers in the sky, breathe in and out. Okay, inhale, release. And as we exhale, let's do half a split pose. So you can extend the knee, flex the toes on your left foot. And again, you can either fall forward here, if that gives you enough a stretch, or if you know your right knee is healthy, you want to try, you can try to make your way down to seat on your right heel. And then from here, you're going to reach towards the foot, might be just a cuff. Maybe you're able to reach for the foot. In any case, try to flex the toes towards you and then fall forward. And again, if you're not able to stay here, you need to be back to this position. That's fine. Just keep breathing. Try to keep bringing your chest as low as you can towards your knee. Obviously minding a little bit your bump on the way. From here or from whatever you are, so if you're down, come back up. If you're here, let's just help ourselves to come back to the lunge position. Crescent moon, bring your chest up, hands back to your heart center. Feel the difference on the stretch. Hopefully you should be feeling a bit more open, a bit easier. And let's take the hands back down. Again, whichever way is easier, you're gonna bring your left leg back, tuck all 10 toes, and let's come back to downward facing dog. Let's hold again for a couple breaths. And let's inhale again. Let's come back down. And now we're gonna make our way into seating. So again, do the transition as easier or as comfortable for your body. We're gonna extend the legs for seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana. So again, for this, depending on how big is your baby bump, you might need to bring the legs a bit wider, and that's fine. If you are not showing too much or you still have a small bump and you want to be about hip width, great. Flex all 10 toes. Take the arms up, palms facing in. And as you breathe out, fall forward. So again, your hands, depending on how your mobility, might be on the knees, maybe on the shins, maybe the ankles, maybe the feet. Whatever it is that you can reach, go for it. Try to keep the feet flexed, whether you're grabbing them or not. And then think of maybe lengthening the spine. So picture a flat back first, inhale. And then as you exhale, elbows slightly out and fold forward. So again, if your hands are here, that's fine. Just go again to where your body allows you to. Feeling the stretch on the back of the legs, back of the thighs. Looking down towards your belly. Keep your neck relaxed. Remember about belly breathing and a bit of activation through pelvic floor. To your core. Now inhale, begin to look towards your feet. Release your hands and come back to sitting tall. Palms facing in, arms up. Exhale, release the arms down. Now we're going to keep the right leg straight and you're going to bend your left knee. Bring the left foot, again depending on your mobility, might be on your calf, maybe on your knee, maybe more on the inner thigh. So try to feel both sitting bones grounded when you're here. And we're going to do, again, a forward fold. So take both arms up, inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward. Again, reach for where you can. If you're able to reach the foot, great. Otherwise, keep it flexed. And then remember about the elbows slightly out as you fold forward. And then hold the stretch on the right side. Feeling the hamstring and the calf on the right. Again, neck relax. Now inhale, look towards your toes, begin to release the grasp from your hands, arms up, exhale, release. Now keep your right foot flexed, inhale again, take the arms up, and now exhale, let's twist. So you're gonna take the right hand towards your left knee. Now you can either keep your left hand behind, looking over your fingers, or maybe bend the elbow, think of the doors of your hand coming towards your back, and then just think as if you could maybe grab your t-shirt or your leggings, or just bring your fingertips towards the hip. Otherwise you can stay there, yeah, with your hand behind. So stay tall, just enjoy the twist. It's very nice for your thoracic spine, for your mid back, because again, as your baby bump gets bigger, the mid upper back gets stiffer. And then if you're on the bind like me, release your arm. So you come back to here, and then here let's inhale, and as you exhale, reach your arm up and over, so you do a bit of a side bend. You should feel the stretch now on the left side of the body, the waist, the shoulder. Try to look towards your biceps. If your neck doesn't like it, look down, and keep the foot flexed, and reach where you're able to. I'm not very good at doing this, I'm very stiff, but it's a lovely stretch. Okay, from here we're gonna release, inhale, let's undo the twist, exhale, and let's swap sides. So carefully extend your left leg. Now bend your right. Again, you can keep your foot by your calf, by your knee, by your inner thigh. Maybe try each position and see what works best for this side and for your body. Flex the toes on your left, take the arms up, inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward. And again, reach for what you can. If it's not a foot, that's not a problem. And then remember the elbows slightly out as you do the forward fold. And then hold it there. Use your breath to help in the stretch. Again, feeling the back of the leg, back of the thigh. Feel the difference on both sides. As always, which side feels tighter? Which side feels looser? From here, inhale, look towards your toes, begin to come up, arms up, palms facing in, exhale, release. Okay, so let's add the twist. Inhale, arms up again. Keep the foot flexed. Exhale, twist towards your right now. Take the left hand to the right knee. Take your right hand behind you, fingertips on the mat. Look back, or maybe bend your elbow for the bind. You can again grab your shirt or the leggings, so just think of going towards the hip bone to open up a bit more the chest and the spine. If this is uncomfortable, doesn't feel great, come back to here. Try to stay tall, so make sure your back doesn't collapse. And let's hold it for a bit longer. Just keep working on the breath. Work through the rotation of the spine. Work through your sitting posture. Make sure you can keep inhaling and exhaling deeply. Belly breathing. Okay, from here, if you're on the bind, release it. So we come back to here. Now from here, let's inhale, take the arm up, palm facing towards you. And then exhale, fold forward. Keep looking towards your bicep. Otherwise, you're welcome to look down if your neck doesn't like it. Feel the stretch on the right side of the body on the waist and the shoulder. You might feel more one or the other. I tend to feel more my waist, but you might be different. And you can keep your breath going. Even if you're not able to reach too low, just try to keep the length. One more breath. And then let's inhale. Come back to sitting under the twist. Let's exhale. And then let's lengthen the leg. And now for the next pose, you might need a block or again a couple books or a cushion. We're going to do, or try to do fire log pose. So this pose is very good for your glutes to open up the back of the hips. We're going to try to bring the left shin parallel to the mat, to the front of the mat. And then right shin directly on top of it. You're going to have all 10 toes flexed, so you have one foot over each other. I'll show you from the front. So I'm like this. Now this often it's difficult to do for most people unless you have very open hips. So it's not so much about the top knee dropping, it's more about being on your sitting bones. So you could use maybe the block underneath your knee, or maybe you could sit on the block to give you a bit more support. So you can try those. I don't need a block. So again, it's just to give you an option. And then once you're there, as I say, you can obviously slide your leg a bit back or just see what you can manage. But try to stay again, your pelvis grounded. And just think of your spine growing tall. We're going to take the arms up again, inhale. And as we exhale, let's take the fingertips towards the shin or slightly forward. And if you're able to, begin to lean a little bit. But try not to hunch your back. Try to think of your back fairly straight, if that makes sense. To the point where you feel the hips opening, especially the top one, which should be your right. And of course, if you've got very good mobility, you can try to fold forward, obviously minding your baby bump a little bit. But if not possible, you can stay here. But as I said, this is a challenging pose. So if your knees don't look exactly like mine, because my hips are quite mobile, that's fine. Or again, if you need to modify it, place a cushion underneath the top knee. Just see what you can do to achieve the pose. From here, I'm going to come back. We're going to inhale, take the arms up again. Exhale, release the arms down. All right, so carefully help yourself to get out of the pose. And let's swap. So now it'll be the other leg underneath. My right is down. My left comes up. And again, you can use a block or any props. You can stay seated on something that's better, or put a cushion, or maybe don't use anything. Even if you're a little bit here, but your sitting bones are grounded, that's fine. And once you have all 10 toes flexed, again, think of your posture lengthening, bringing your arms up, palms facing in, inhale. Exhale, bring your fingertips to the shins or to the ground to touch. And then if you can, maybe lean forward, but you might not need to. Yeah, you need to feel the stretch is strong. So if you're here and that's already challenging for you, then keep it there. And of course, if you're very mobile and you're able to fall forward, you can try. But keeping your sitting bones on the ground, make sure the pelvis is not beginning to twist. Try to keep, again, your back in a good position so it doesn't look too hunched. Let's come back. Inhale, take the arms up, sitting tall. Exhale, release. So you can help yourself to uncross the leg. And we're going to be sitting now either with your legs on a normal cross, so crossing one over the other, or maybe easy pose, which is called Sukhasana, so one leg in front of the other. Or maybe you'll be sitting again on a block. So choose whatever feels best for you. Or if you prefer to sit on hero pose, on Virasana, so sitting on your heels like this, that's fine as well. So I'm going to choose to sit in Sukhasana, easy pose. And if you have your legs like me or your legs are crossed, I'll tell you when to change the cross. Okay? So sit up tall again. Let's take both arms up, inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to take the right arm down, left arm up and over. It might look like I'm doing the opposite side, but basically you're reaching your left arm up, look towards your bicep if you can. Otherwise, look down. If you prefer to keep the elbow straight, that's fine. Otherwise, think of the elbow coming to the ground to give you more opening. Just make sure the sitting bones stay. So again, if your sitting bones are coming off, take the elbow slightly up. Good, let's come back. Inhale, palms in. Exhale, change to the other side. Look again to the bicep if you can. Otherwise, you can look down. You can adjust how much you need to. Good, let's inhale, come back. Now exhale, twist to the right, a little bit like we did before. Left hand to your right knee, right hand behind, look over your shoulder. Come back to the middle, inhale. Exhale, twist the other way to the left, right hand to the left knee. Left hand behind you. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the arms and now change the cross of the legs. If you had them crossed, I'm going to show you these from the side. You're going to link your fingers behind you for chest expansion. Pull back a little bit. Try to connect as much as you can the palm of your hands. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, fall forward to where you can. Try to reach the arms up, head low, to where it feels comfortable. And again, if your arms, my shoulders are very tight, so if your arms don't go very high, that's fine. If your head doesn't go all the way down, that's fine too. You got your baby bump, so that's going to stop you from moving. You might be slightly up, and that's okay. One more breath. Okay, let's inhale, begin to come back. Exhale, release your hands and return to face you again. Keep the hands resting onto your knees. Let's release the neck a little bit. So let's breathe in to drop the chin to the chest. Feel the stretch of the back of the neck. Breathe out, hold. Relax your shoulders. Keep doing belly breathing. And let's try to add a little bit of mobility through the neck from here. So think of a half neck roll. Moving right to left, left to right. To the end of the range, so it gives you a bit of a stretch on the side of the neck as you get to the end of it. Just try one more time each side. Keep your breath going gently. And bring your head back to the middle. Lovely. From here, we're going to finish in Savasana or corpse pose. And for that, you're going to make your way on your side, on your left side. You can use a cushion for your head or just your arm. If you're not very heavily pregnant, you're on the first trimester, and you're comfortable lying on your back on normal Savasana, which is with your legs straight, palms facing up. You could do that, or maybe with your legs bent up. But if not, you can just do it on your side. Keep your eyes closed, and let's focus on our breath again. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through your mouth. Let go tension. Close your lips, keep your eyes closed, and then return to the natural rhythm of your breath. which hopefully should be a bit slower than when we started, but don't force it too slow. So breathe normal. And while we continue breathing, let's just observe our body from the feet to the top of the head. So picturing your feet nice and relaxed. Visualizing your calves, your knees, your thighs, also nice and loose. Picture your pelvis at the front and the back. Hopefully feeling no tension, or if you feel a little bit of tension somewhere, try to let go. Picture the length of the spine from the bottom of the spine to the top of the spine to the back of the shoulders, nice and relaxed. Visualize your stomach area, your baby bump, your rib cage, your chest, your shoulders at the front. Also trying to relax tension, letting go. Visualize your fingers, your hands, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arm. Also relaxing, letting go. Then pay attention to the throat area, to the back of the neck, to the jaw. Maybe let the jaw fall slightly open. Relax the tongue at the back of your mouth. And observe your face, trying to soften your face, relax any expression. And finally relax the weight of your head completely. And then keep breathing here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Feeling how the ribs and the belly expand on the inhale, how they draw in slightly on the exhale. Feel the lungs getting full of air on the in-breath and how they get empty on the exhale. And observe again if you've got any remaining tension somewhere and just see if you can let that go. So you're welcome to stay in Savasana for as long as you wish to. If you're on your back, you can do this on your side as well, of course. If you're on your back, I will tell you how to transition to your side. So let's start maybe just rolling a little bit the feet, the wrists. Maybe stretch a little bit the arms, maybe a little bit the legs. It's a bit easier if you're on your back, it's a bit harder if you're on your side, but try. And then if you're on your back, roll to your side, to your left side. And then once we're on our side, if you weren't already there, let's just help ourselves with our hand to come into sitting. And you can come back to the seated position you were doing before, if it was Sukhasana or a simple cross leg or sitting on your heels or on a block or on a cushion. Just find what's comfortable for you. Keep the hands resting onto your knees. Observe the changes on your body, on your posture, on your breath. Be grateful to yourself for spending a bit of time today to work on your body, on your mind, and on your breath as well. Let's bring the hands back to our heart center. Thumbs touching the breastbone, fingers spreading slightly forward. Try to set an intention for the rest of the day and the rest of your week. And as you go forward with the rest of your day or the rest of your week, may you have peace on your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. From my heart to yours, namaste. So this is the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you got any suggestions for any other content you would like to see, please send me a message. If you're interested in one of my online classes, please go to my website, maxiphysio.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you hopefully soon in one of my other classes. Bye-bye.